Start with fire, add oil, let it simmer. From the crew at 58 Surf and Stab, this isn't just a podcast, it's a sensory experience. Fresh from the coast, full of flavor, and prepared to perfection. Well, kinda. This is 58 Surf and Turf. Let's get cooked. All right, here we are, 58 Surf and Turf. Gony Zubizarreta. Are you hungry? We got some food.
I just had lunch, but it looks pretty good.
What did you eat?
Maybe later. I ate like a mix of rice and beans and veggie thing, but just right next to the shop.
Really?
I was rushing between
The one just
shoots.
across the parking lot here.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was rushing. Didn't have much time.
Nice. Yeah, you're currently shooting some stuff for Volcom, right?
Yeah. This week, we've been shooting for next spring collection for Volcom. Yeah. Also Seth Comboy is here from Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Him, Isam, Optel, and me, we designed some clothes for next year for the spring collection, and we are shooting now. We have some samples, and we have to shoot for the catalog and website and all that, and mixing with painting. We also doing some art. We're gonna do an art show when the collection comes out, and do like an art show with all the paintings, and also filming for a little movie.
Cool.
Pretty fun. It's like really fun week.
I can only imagine with that
fun.
crew.
Super cool.
Yeah, fun in and out of the water, I'd imagine.
Yeah, they're legends. Isam, so cool, so funny. Seth also. And also Diego Martins is with us surfing, and Guy is a legend. So cool to film with him, super nice to hang with, super mellow, and they are super young and nice. For me, it's really cool to hang with them. I'm like 15 years older, but they actually super mature and super cool to hang with.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Nice. Well, we were talking before we came on, and we said we both surfed yesterday. I was in a 4-mil, but you were in boardies. Do you want to explain that?
Yeah, I was surfing in boardies because we are shooting for spring 2026, and they were like, if there's these boardies, if you can get some action as well. And I'm like, all right, we try. Maybe get a few waves, we can make it. And I ended up surfing for like 2 hours.
You did 2 hours in boardies?
Yeah, I was like, okay, just get a few waves, but then I was surfing and you was moving, there's so many waves.
Did you have like a vest on?
I had a 2 mil vest.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually it was pretty fun it was kind of like a challenge too. And the waves were not that good. So I was having so much fun in boardies because it was a challenge. It's like, for me, it was way more fun than just a normal surf. And yeah, but it was funny. Seth was wearing like a 4-3 and a hood. And I was like, what are you doing? And booties. I was wearing shorts.
If you ever encounter that, like you guys I understand why you're doing it, but I feel like whenever that happens in the wild, if you're just at like a really busy beach in the summer or something, it's like both parties must be wrong. If there's that much like mix up, then it's like probably you have to be just right in the middle. And
we were alone in a peak, but there was one guy that paddled out, and he looked at me and was like, are you not cold? And I'm like, yeah, a little. But I was going to explain that we were shooting, but I was like, fuck. That wave came. I just went, I couldn't. The trick was keep moving, not way too much. It was fun.
I'm sure to surf in boardies at least a bit in the summer. Same thing, 2 mil vest.
Yeah.
You kind of have to.
When it's sunny and warm, it's nice to surf in Portugal in boardies. Like, it's pretty cool. I felt like I was in Australia or something like that. It was like pretty cool.
Sick.
So weird. Surf cautious the other day too in boardies. I was like, wow, this is strange. Wow, super cool.
And we are recording this in April, if anybody's curious. Water is what, like 17 degrees?
The water was 16, 17.
16, 17?
I think 16. But yeah, it was not that bad. I thought I was going to be freezing from the start, and I wasn't. I was like impressed.
Yeah.
And I'm not, I like to surf in 4-3, like, I'm not this kind of guy that always like, trying to surf in boardies. No, I only surf in board shorts if it's really hot and the water is really hot. Otherwise, I prefer a wetsuit, feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But it was quite okay, the water.
Not bad.
Surprising, yeah.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. And I want to talk to you because I know you've got a movie coming at some point with Volcom about your relationship with them. You've been with them for like 20 years, right?
No, 26.
26.
Since 1998.
It's got to be one of the longest running sponsorships in surfing.
Probably one of the, yeah. It's been a long career, yeah, with them. They're legends. I'm so thankful, for all the support since the beginning. Started in 1998 when Volcom started in 1991 in America, but they came to Europe. It was 1997 or 98, and then I was a kid. I was 13 years old, and the Volcom Spain distributor called me. Well, my dad through a shop, and they're like, we want to get you in Volcom. I was like, Volcom, what is that? I didn't even know. And then when I saw the logo, the stone, I was like, wow, no way, the Bruce Irons. I was like, wow, so happy. Yeah, for sure.
Sick.
I was so happy. And then, since then, it's been crazy. It's been amazing, the people I met in that company, amazing people. I learned so much from, so many artists, great surfers, skaters, snowboarders, amazing sales guys, like musicians, a crazy group of people, like mixed, like super creative and super nice. I was super lucky to ride for Welcome since I'm a kid, and to be able to say that I'm still in the team, like it's crazy. But I'm trying to make a movie about all of this. My dad used to film so much when I was a kid. He was always coming to like bring me to the comps and to all these events, and that Volcom was also organizing. So my dad filmed everything, crazy. Not only surfing, outside, like like the lifestyle, the vibes. So it's crazy. I have like 300 tapes, mini DV. I digitalized 40 already. I'm doing this with Guillermo Martins, and it's crazy. 40 tapes of 1 hour. I went through all, and there's crazy stuff.
You have no shortage of footage there.
Crazy stuff, like super cool stuff from the beginning. Like there's amazing footage from Hostegor, the Volcom Etnis Air and Tube show. They used to do these events, just air shows and invitational events in 99 and 2000. Crazy footage of Aussie ride when he was like 20. Bruce, they were super young. Gavin Beshen, Barney. Crazy footage.
So there's footage of all them.
Footage that no one saw.
Yeah.
Like, only if you were there, you remember. But now the kids they never saw that. And there's crazy turns, airs, like, and the vibes, like crazy, like the spray paints on the boards, like totally different. And now, and Barney was like just crazy how he was surfing. I was like, wow. I'm going through the tapes, like, wow, this is insane.
Yeah,
and I have the memory of being there, and I was like 14, 15. Also the trade shows, there used to be the Gliss Expo in Anglet, like Volcom booth was crazy, always like heavy metal music and like really cool stuff. I was just a kid, like, wow. Then Bruce Irons was coming to the booth, and he was like 18. I was like, wow. Like, and all this film, and I'm trying to put everything together, like the best surfing and all these kind of things, that it's pretty cool to see everyone like at the beginning of, super core. These events were crazy, like super cool.
Yeah.
Like
different areas.
And it's so cool to have it all filmed. But it's gonna take a while because it's so hard to edit and choose. There's many hours to choose. But I'm gonna put, try to select the best things and also find the best moments of my career and put it all together. And I want everyone to be in the movie, not just me, like just kind of like a Volcom, more like a Volcom team movie with all the footage I have. But hopefully I can have it finished for end of the year or next year.
Are you sitting on some recent stuff for it too? Have you like sat on just clips from like a trip or two that?
I have some stuff from
You haven't put out yet?
last winter. Saving some waves. I'm gonna put a little part in the end, but the best stuff is the old stuff. So cool.
Yeah, the old stuff
So
sounds
it's
incredible.
crazy. Yeah, it's been amazing to ride for Volcom for so many years, and yeah, keep going. We're still doing stuff, filming. We're gonna have a premiere this weekend here at 58 of a movie, that a little team trip we did to the Algarve in February, and also in Ericeira in February. It was kind of pumping. We got some fun waves. So yeah, still surfing and doing what we like,
Nice.
painting, yeah, designing some clothes too. Like
Cool.
so,
Nice. So when that call first came to ride for Volcom, you were living in Galicia at the time?
Yeah, I
Okay.
was living in Vigo. Yeah, I grew up there, and yeah, I was 13, and I was still at school. Then when I was 17, I won the World Juniors in Australia, and that was like a really important point in my life, in my career, because I was like, okay, I'm finishing high school. I wanna do the QS. I'm gonna travel. I wanna compete. But you need a lot of money to to. Back in the day, there were so many comps,
Yeah.
and it was crazy. And I was with Volcom. I was just a kid getting just a little bit of money, nothing. So, but when I won that comp, I was like, Billabong didn't have like a European kid, like a strong one, so they wanted to get me in the team. And I was like, wow, I don't want to leave Volcom. I've been riding for Volcom for like 3-4 years. I love the people in the brand. I love the brand. But I had to make a decision, because Billabong said, yeah, whatever you need, just tell us, so we can cover it for sure. We can support you to do. You want to do the QS, we can pay it. But so I talked to Volcom. I didn't want to leave, and they were like, okay. They brought me to California, and there was like a Fiji trip with the whole team, and we went to Cali, and I signed a contract there with them, probably with less than I would have signed with Billabong, but it was just enough to start doing the QS. So I was so happy. And then we went to Tabarua. This is the t-shirt from that trip. It's like October 2003. I just found it in my room.
Incredible.
And I was like under so much clothes. And yeah, this is where it was so cool. Gavin Beshin, Troy Ecker, Richard Woolcott, Mike Mailman, Simon Young, Dave Wassel, so many legends here. Dustin Quizon, and it was a mix of team riders and the main, like the bosses and the main, like marketing, art department, sales guys. Like they were doing this trip at the end of the year, every year, bringing like a team building.
Yeah.
They were renting the whole island, Tabarua. And
Wow.
yeah, it used to be, when it was private still, like it was only for us, surfing cloud break. And I was like, wow. Mike Mailman, I remember, he's like, wow, this is a bonus, a present. You won the contest. You came to Tabarua with us. I was like 18, and it was crazy.
Wow.
It's
Things
not a
happen
while.
fast, huh?
They put me in I remember, yeah, fast. They put me in the same room as Chava. They were like, Gony, you with Chava. I was like, what? No, Chava. So scary. But they're like, yeah, you're gonna hang out with Chava. Then when you go to Hawaii, it's okay.
Yeah.
So funny.
Totally.
They're so cool. Yeah, I learned a lot from them. But yeah, it changed there. They support me, but it was good. Slowly, you had to earn it. It's not like, I'm really thankful, because Volcom did it right. They were legends. They were not like giving me too much. And when you're a kid, if they give you too much too soon, it's really dangerous.
Messes with your head, yeah.
You can get stuck. And they made me earn it. Like, okay, I was getting nothing, and then won that contest, and they support me. And then every year kept my contract was going up.
Yeah.
But not like that easy. Just like, step by step. I had to, keep working. And I remember people telling me, you should get way more money. At the time, I was like, it's okay, I'm okay. I love Volcom, and I love them, and I trust them. And in the end, look, I'm still riding for Volcom. Maybe if I had another opportunity, I was getting maybe more, but then you don't know until when. And then you could be maybe struggling a little bit in comps, and they're like, ciao. Like,
yeah.
Like that happened to many of my friends, that maybe they were getting like big contracts, but then the comps, it's so hard. Sometimes the competitive world, you have like a bad year, like injury or whatever, and in the end, some were like, okay, we have so much big team and we cannot afford the whole team, so this guy is not doing as well in the comps. Ciao.
Yeah.
Volcom was kind of the first one that was like investing in team riders, but not only for comps. Comps were not so important for them. They were told me, you want to do the QS? Yeah, epic, we support you. But they didn't put pressure, never like, you have to qualify. Or they were like, okay, you want to do what you want to do? They asked me.
Yeah.
I remember when I went to Cali, Troy Eckert and Wooly and Mike were like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I want to do the QS. And they're like, okay,
Do the QS.
I say, I wanna need this to travel, They support me. But they were not like, you have to do this, qualify. No, it was so cool because I was doing it because I really wanted to do it. Didn't feel that pressure from them. You already have so much pressure because you like put on yourself a lot of pressure when you compete.
Yeah.
And if you have the pressure from the sponsor too, it must be really heavy.
Yeah.
I never had that. I'm super thankful for that. And they were like always supporting me because I was also in between comps. I was traveling, doing trips for Surfer Rule magazine, Surf Europe, trips everywhere. I wanted to travel and get in the magazine, And they were like super thankful also because I was busy and I was never stopping at home. Maybe 1 or 2 days in Vigo, but I knew in Vigo I was losing my time. I was like, wow, what I'm doing here? If I can travel, So I was like, never at home. It was cool. And I remember one year that probably one of the last years of my pro junior career, I did really bad. I was supposed to be like one on top, like first, second, third, whatever, top 4. And I got like 7th or 8th. I was like, no, I blew it. And at the end of the year, they sent me a check, like a bonus. And I was like, wow. I called them like, why is this money? It's like, they were like, you did amazing this year. I was like, it was my worst year in the pro junior. And they're like, yeah, but you were in this magazine, this magazine. You were everywhere.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, wow, cool. Okay. Yeah, they're not seeing just the comps. So cool. It's amazing. They were, and this was 2004.
Okay.
Pretty cool that Welcome always had that mentality, that philosophy, not just contest. They knew, it was super important to be in the magazines at the time.
Yeah.
Right now we don't have them, but you have YouTube or the guys that have big contracts are really big in YouTube channels or social Instagram, like huge following.
Yeah. They're still getting
like if you were always in the magazines, like double spread cover. It's like, well, it was the same.
It's just a simpler, like, even though in this day and age you just get like proper metrics, right? You get this many plays, many impressions, all these things. There was something that felt easier to track about a magazine, especially if you just had photo incidents and stuff like that.
Just like, I had that.
Covers this much,
cool.
Full page this much, spread this much.
That was sick.
And it just felt like there's so many different ways somebody can build like a YouTube or a Instagram following or TikTok following these days, whereas like it felt like if you found your way into a magazine, then you deserved it. And something,
it was so like cool to go to the shop or the kiosk to get the magazine and look for the photos. I got it.
Yeah.
and it was epic because you probably, it was the first time you seeing that photo, Now you're like shooting with in a photo shoot or a trip, and you're like the same day you can see the photo.
Yeah.
Now those days were like traveling, and you didn't know if you were getting a good shot or not until like a month later, or the magazine like,
that's what that.
You got the cover. No way, that I remember that barrel or that air. So sick.
Nice.
It was crazy. It was amazing. So lucky to live those years.
Yeah.
I mean,
what were your early years of surfing life like? How did you get into surfing?
In Galicia, I was 7 years old, and my dad was surfing already, skating, and me and my brother, started skating with my dad. And then one day we were just cruising in Galicia in a beach called Nemiña. It's in between Vigo and Coruña. super wild. There was nothing there, super beautiful, and we were just spending the weekend and my with some friends. My dad had like a longboard, and he was like, "Oh, you guys want to try it?" And me and my brother started surfing there, and so cool. First wave, just whoosh, till the sun, like wow, white water, and I was like, "Wow, this is amazing!" Man. And then never stopped. I was At the time I was playing soccer a lot and skating, and then when I started since that day I just wanted to surf. My brother was more like artist and music, and just surf a little bit, then stopped. But then
Surfing
I
just
never
helped you.
stopped. Yeah, I loved it. But yeah, I was surfing. Imagine that time in Galicia, it was cold in the winters. I didn't even have a wetsuit. There was no wetsuits for kids in 1992 in Galicia. Now I was like the youngest kid for sure in Galicia surfing. Me and I had some friends. They were like 5 years older that I was surfing with, but my age, no one. And I had to go to France to get a wetsuit. At the
Yeah.
Quicksilver shop, I remember. I'll get a Quicksilver wetsuit for kids with a zip here.
Yeah, I know that one's-
It's so funny. But then yeah, kept surfing, and my dad was driving me everywhere. Like every weekend, would drive to Coruña, to Ferrol, Vigo. It's fun in the winter, yeah, when the swells are big and storms are, big storms, south wind. Big Papatos Beach, where I grew up, is fun. It has like a right and left point break, super ripple,
Mhm.
and some like a beach break. And then if it's by super protected, so it needs to be big. Like when they say that's huge that you cannot surf, it's really fun in Vigo.
Okay.
But if it's not big, it's kind of almost flat and small. It's like kind of like imagine Carcavelos, that needs
Yeah.
as well. And we had to drive a lot, but it's only like 40 minutes across the border. 30 minutes, you are in Portugal already. So we were surfing a lot in the north of Portugal. The first beach like Ancora, Moledo, Afife, Viana do Castelo, that area.
Yeah.
Always like if Patos is flat, drive down a little bit, surf and come back, or a little bit north. In Galicia, there's so many beach breaks. But we had to drive a lot. My dad loved it also, so he was always bringing me and my friends to the beach, surfing with us or filming.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was super lucky. And he was always driving me to the comps, never pushing. Yeah, I just wanted to go. He's like,
Yeah,
"Hey, let's go."
sure.
What? Hey, wow. He was
you-
having fun.
Were you competing like when you started getting more serious about it and like really falling in love with it and trying to push competitively? Did it feel like there were kids from Galicia that you were like surfing against, or because when I think of Spanish surfing, it seems like most of the guys come from the Basque Country. Do you
Yeah.
feel like you were competing with like kids in your region, or do you feel like once you got to a certain level, you were more like thinking about the same?
Yeah, when I started,
kids from there.
there was one kid, Luis Rodriguez, from near Pantin. He was my age and was surfing really good. And we were kind of like super competitive with him.
Yeah.
So it was cool. And then my other friends were older, 5 years older or more. So for me, it was not like they inspire me. I learned a lot from them, but I didn't feel like,
You're not thinking about
I want to beat him.
Yeah.
If I lost against them, they were older, so it was normal. But Luis and me had like a cool rivalry at the beginning and in the Pro Junior school. And then he kind of stopped after the Pro Junior, and I kept, but I met Marlon, O'Day, and Aritz in France in a junior too, Quicksilver Grommets. It was like in Capleton, under 14. We all met there. Marlon, Aritz, and O'Day. So I met Jonathan as well, all the guys. So yeah, we were same age. Marlon and O'Day are 1 year older than me and Aritz, but from that day, we all met and we were seeing each other in comps and we learned a lot and pushed each other so much. Then I was in summer going to visit Marlon in the Algarve when I was 15 and stay with him and surf in those beach breaks there, way better than Vigo was flat. I was like, wow, I'm going to Algarve, spend time with him. So I learned a lot. It helped me so much surfing with Marlon there. And then going to Sarauts as well, and I was staying with O'Day, and we were going to France, also with Aritz, and doing the Pro Juniors. And so for me, Algarve and Sarauts was they're super important.
important,
They
like-
helped me a lot, to
Yeah.
improve. If I knew if I stayed in Patos and in Vigo, I was not gonna improve, and it was boring. And going with them was for me was huge, it's crazy, and so I was never at home.
Yeah.
And then started traveling, doing the national comps and the Europeans and the QS, and I was like always in between comps going back to Vigo. And I was landing, every time I was landing in Vigo, I was like, wow, depressed. Like, what am I doing here,
Yeah.
Even I love Galicia. It's an amazing place, and I love going there nowadays. It's super wild, but at the time, for a routine and if you wanted to improve, still want to improve and surf with good surfers, I was like, wow, this is not the place. I was like, wow, imagine in between a prime event or a 6-star, you're going back to Vigo. Like,
Different
it's
world.
like, wow. My friends were like, let's go surf or let's go party, but I was getting super distracted. So when I was 24, I was coming to Ericeira since 1998 or 2000. Then I started riding cement surfboards in 2000. So I was 15. So I was coming all the time to get my boards, staying at Nico Ricchio's house and loving this place. So when I was like 24, I was like, wow, I need to move here. I want to be somewhere else. I don't want to be in between events. I don't want to be in Vigo. So I really like Canary Islands or here.
Mhm.
And I decided, okay, I move here because Canaries is you have to fly one more flight to get there. So it's a lot of flying, and here I can drive wherever I want. I'm 4 hours from Galicia, from my family. Super strategically centered, and the waves are amazing. And I have Nick Rico's family here too, like a good connection. I love this place, so it was a great move. I moved it was 2010,
Mhm.
and I was in between Galicia and here, like, but for me it was really cool to be here in between comps.
Yeah.
Like, and
It made sense finally.
so cool in the
Landing airport
winter,
there,
like
yeah.
not so many people in the water, like getting like world-class waves. So good. I was like thinking, wow, I don't understand why there's no more like pro surfers living here. Like, I was the first one from outside coming and stay the whole year. They were like, the Portuguese were like, oh, you live the whole year here in Ericeira? I'm like, yeah, in winter too. And they're like, wow, no way.
Yeah.
And then years after, like also like people surfer like Miguel Blanco that used to live in Cascais moved here. Canoa, Leo have a place, Aritz coming all the time. They also, it's a great place to to improve. And if you are at that level that you are competing and you wanna still get really good waves and still improve, it's amazing. You have so many different spots in such a small place. Point breaks, slabs, beach breaks, left, rights for turns, crazy way you can like the gnarliest slabs
Yeah.
ever there. Like,
Do you feel like
as here.
do you feel like after making that move in those like first few years, your surfing started to change in any way? Do you feel
I
like you
was
improved in
improving.
certain conditions?
Yeah, I was
Specifically in like one aspect of surfing, or
when Nick Rico from Cemente was always telling me, Gony, you have to calm down. Cautious is gonna be pumping. You need to improve your lines and stuff like that. Because in Vigo, in Galicia, it's more beach breaks. So you're surfing quicker snaps or whatever. I was surfing super quick when I was younger, really explosive and fast, super quick. But I was missing more drive, amplitude in my surfing, more solidity. And when I was surfing in Ericeira or Hawaii, I felt like I was like, oof, super light. And moving here made me surf like every day in more solid waves. Here you have so much power on the waves, so help me. Naturally, you improve and you surf way more solid. So when I was traveling, I started surfing way better in Hawaii, like Haleiwa Sunset or Margaret River. I got some really good results at the end of my career. I got to the quarters in Haleiwa, also in Margaret's when it was solid. And if I didn't make that move, I was gonna be stuck I think, in Galicia with, surfing really fast and stuff, but not as good in. I improve a lot in my barrels, and to
Just
have a
power
better
surfing.
line. Yeah, power surfing,
Yeah.
and I loved it here. Not only the surf, also the lifestyle. The people super super respectful here. Always treated me really nice, super humble. I think this place is great. A great community. The locals are cool, and the local people, they're legends. Like, you come and they welcome you. If you come with respect, and don't try to catch all the waves, or if you are humble, I think you are really welcome, and it's an amazing place to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going back a few years though, when did you win the World Juniors?
2002.
Okay. Who else was in it? What were some names? I was like,
Yeah, it was fun.
Beating
It was,
you were like,
yeah, it was cool because Ode, he got second in that comp. So I got first, and Ode got second, like best friends, and we were in the final together. We couldn't believe it.
where was it again?
In Narrabeen, North
Okay.
Narrabeen.
It was there for a while.
It was crazy because Ricky Basnet was also in that comp. Warwick Wright, like the South Africans were really good.
Yeah.
Australians too. This guy Tevita Gukilau from West Coast. He, I think, a few years ago was in Fiji competing because he has like Fijian family
Yeah.
in the city at Clobrick. He won the trials or something. It was good to see him back because after the juniors he kind of stopped. I never seen him again. I was like, wow, this guy was a goofy footer, ripping, but then kind of stopped. And then Ricky Basnet was like my favorite and Ode's favorite. We were like, wow, Ricky is gonna win the contest, easy. But then he blew it in the semis.
Did you beat him? Ode?
Yeah, Ode beat him. It was crazy. We went to that comp thinking we were gonna lose first seed.
Really?
Yeah.
And you
No
went home
expectations,
with the trophy.
and we were first and second. And the Spanish Federation didn't even have a team, no money so we went by ourselves, and my dad came with us as a manager, like, because you need to have a responsible, a team manager, whatever. The Spanish Federation did the entries for us, and we went, but just as individuals. We didn't have a complete team, and yeah, thanks that my dad came with us, and we ended up winning. But as a team, we didn't even count because it was like only me and they, and a girl and another guy from Cantabria, Javier Bilbao, and Mirka Solar, the girl. But it was funny. We were now one, and we ended up winning. And Matt Hoy was commentating, and John Shimoka.
Really?
So sick.
Just legends on the
Yeah,
mic.
it's crazy. And Jordi Smith won under 16, same event.
Okay.
And I won the under 18. But yeah, Jordi was ripping already. He was 14 and won the under 16. Damien Farenford was under 16 also. But funny
That was a
story.
big era
That
for South African surfing.
Jordi, so funny, Jordi. Ode was riding for Rip Curl at the time, and had this Rip Curl Raptor. Remember that wetsuit, that
Yeah.
big fanning hat? And Jordi was like, wow, I love that wetsuit. But Jordi was riding for Billabong, and it was so cool. End of the comp in the ISAs, you like swap the clothing from the team, like South Africa team or whatever. You change to your country, papa.
Yeah.
And we didn't even have a team clothing, nothing.
Yeah.
So but Jordi had the sickest South Africa like jeans, like jacket, so cool. And Ode was like, wow, so cool, your stuff. And Jordi was like, wow, I love your wetsuit. Maybe we can swap. And so they swapped the wetsuit for all the South African gear. Ode still has the clothes.
No
and
way.
Jordi is so funny. We went months later. Or I don't know if he was 1 year later. We went to Durban for the Mr. Price Pro, and Jordi was using the Rip Curl Raptor. I was like, wow, well, you still have the wetsuit? It's like, yeah, my favorite wetsuit. I can only use it sometimes. Just Billabong. I was like, wow, this guy, so funny. And like, not long ago, maybe 5 years ago, I asked Jordi if he still had the wetsuit. He's like, yeah, of course, I have the Rip Curl Raptor. So cool. Yeah, he was 14. Yeah, he was like, wow. And the wetsuit, Jordi's massive, but at the time, even Ode's wetsuit was kind of big for him, so he had to wait like 1 year to.
Yeah, and then filled out.
So cool.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
funny.
That's incredible. And so from there, like you said, your contracts and everything changed after that point. You could give the QS a proper crack. Do you remember? I mean, that era was different, right? Like, I think there's pros and cons of this era where it's all regionalized. Pro being you don't have to spend a ton of money to, you do once you make it to the Challenger Series, obviously, but like you get to that Challenger without, having to go around the world, whereas it was kind of chaotic. In the old system, you could be going to a 1-star on the other side of the planet. That's kind of wild.
It was wild, yeah. Many years traveling, and it was fun, really fun. I had a good group with me, like Ode, Aris, Jonathan, Marlon. We were really tight friends traveling. But yeah, it's tough the problem is when you doing so many comps and it's everyone ripping and the waves are hard. Sometimes it's just 25 minutes. You lose, and sometimes you're losing and traveling so tired. You get from one comp to the other, and when you start losing, it's really hard to get out of that ball of losing. And you're like, wow, it's super hard. Like psychologically, you have to be super mentally strong, and when you win and you get in a rhythm, it's pretty cool. But you know that you're gonna at some point you're gonna go down, so you have to make the most of those moments when you are like surfing and getting through heats. Doesn't matter. Sometimes you're surfing better than before, but you are losing. Also, there's a lot of things involved. Your personal life, like it affects a lot in competition. But yeah, some years were hard. Some others I was super close to qualifying. Like 2009, I only by one heat. I was so close, but learned a lot. Also, a few other years I was super close. I didn't qualify, but it was ending in Sunset, the Triple Crown, Haligo and Sunset. And yeah, I never made it on tour, but I was super close and learned a lot. And I loved it. Wouldn't change it. Of course, I would love to be on tour, but it was an amazing experience anyway. And I had some great moments, some great wins, and what I learned from traveling and from competing, it's amazing that opportunity that I had. It's just not only surfing, you can learn for your life, from competing, doing the world tour. You learn a lot. You have to be really strong and to, find solutions for so many situations traveling. And mentally, it's so easy to be like depressed and down, like because you're not getting to your objectives, your goals, and you're like, But the easiest is to give up and quit. And I was like, no way, I'm still getting paid for this. I have to keep going, and I love competing. Sometimes I was feeling like, wow, I'm not the most competitive. What am I doing? Fuck, doing this. But then I was like, I love it. When you get through a heat, it's like so much adrenaline.
Yeah,
I was loving it too. But sometimes I was feeling like, wow, I don't know if this is for me. Do I really want to qualify for the CT or not? Or I just doing it because you start competing when you're a kid. And you're like, just like, you get into that rhythm of contest and you are doing it. But sometimes I was feeling, wow, I'm doing this and I don't know if this is what I want. But anyway, I wouldn't change it. It was super epic.
How many years did you do it? Like
probably like 10 years. So
and most years did you have a crew like you're talking about one day?
Yeah, I was with my friends too. That's why. If I always thought that if I had to do this alone, I would stop. But because I was seeing my friends and traveling with them, and you're surfing, like not only competing, something you are free surfing, in Australia, whatever. It's epic. So I was like, wow, I can't complain. Obviously, it's hard when you're losing, and it's hard to switch and start winning again. But in the end, if you keep surfing and training and focus, you have to know that every time comes back. You have to go do good and bad and good. When you're doing bad, you have to know, okay, worse than this I cannot do. So if I keep training, I'm gonna start winning.
Yeah.
When you're winning, then like, wow, it's impossible to win forever. So at some point you're gonna lose, but it's normal. It's part of the tour.
Yeah.
You have to accept it. When you lose, the problem is when you lose and you're like, fuck, you can't accept it, you know. But when you lose and you take it, it's okay. It's just another contest. Next week we have another one. All
Yeah.
good. Problem is you have to really know yourself and know that, are you doing the best you can? Are you training? Are you working on your boards? Are you feeling really like good, or you are being lazy, partying too much? You have to really be like super honest with yourself. Like, okay, I'm losing because I'm partying too much. I'm not focused.
Yeah.
I'm not training. My words suck. I have to work more with my shaper. Or you're losing because even if you are surfing really good and everything is on point, you chose the wrong wave or whatever, or the other guys just surf better than you that hit. It's okay. But if you are okay, it's okay, because you know next comp probably gonna do well.
Yeah.
There's different sides, different. I don't know how you say, but yeah, sometimes you lose bad and sometimes it's all good.
Yeah.
Because you know you're feeling good and it's just another hit.
There's a lot of grinding you have to do on the QS, but is there an event that sticks out to you as like the best waves you've ever seen for a comp?
Pro Junior final in Peniche.
Oh yeah, Pro Junior, that was amazing. Yeah, Pro Junior final in Peniche. It was probably 2005 or something like that. I was with Marlon, Arit, and Luis Rodriguez, this kid from Galicia. It was crazy. We were surfing Baleal every day, the first 2 days. And then for the final, for the quarter, semis and final, on Sunday, it changed, the whole forecast changed, like, and then we woke up, it was like 6 to 8 foot, west, Peniche, super tubes, like perfect wind, but so many closeouts, but massive.
Yeah.
And they were like, and Baleal was like this, so small. So they're like, yeah, it's on in super tubes. So we were like, whoa, no way. And it's pretty scary, but we had the sickest contest.
Yeah.
Wow, it was epic. Just pulling into big barrels, like, that was great. Yeah, it was amazing to see Marlon and Aritz. They were first and second in the ranking, and the title was gonna be decided at final. So we were like, wow, it was like Andy and Kelly at pipe. It was like, Marlon and Aritz at that final. Marlon got a 10. Wow, it was crazy. Then Aritz got a 9 something, and they were like until the end, like, yeah. And then Marlon ended up winning, super close. I got third, Aritz second. That was epic. Yeah, one of the best ones I remember. And then Maldives was fun when we used to have the comps. The O'Neill comps, it was Pasta Point, and Lohifushi also. Haleiwa, I remember some epic events at Haleiwa. And also Margaret's was sometimes really fun, the ride. And Thurso, sick.
Yeah.
Cold Water Classic in Thurso, I love that one. Canada was pretty epic too.
Yeah.
Tofino. Yeah, Tofino. We used to have some sick events. Yeah.
Did you have like
They're
a
way
favorite-
different than now. The
Final of your video, right?
yeah. I had an amazing comp as well here in super special in Ribera Dillas, 2010, when I moved here actually. Me and O'Day in the final, man on man. So it was kind of like
You
that,
guys
like a,
surfed quite a few heats together.
yeah. Final in that World Juniors and then final here.
Yeah.
It was crazy because, well, O'Day was staying at my house. We were in my room, actually sharing the room, and we ended up getting to the final. So it was so special, and we had a great hit, and he was winning. We did like rock, scissors, paper before going to the water to see who had priority,
Yeah.
you know? And I won. I was like, epic, priority, epic. We got to the water, first wave comes. I'm like, laughing. I went, goes flat. It was like a 2, they behind bomb, the 8.5. I was like, wow, no way. The second wave of another 8. I was like, what? Combo in like 3 minutes.
No
like,
way.
I am fucking kidding. and I had priority. I blew it. And then I came back with like a 9, and then I was in a 7.57 or something like that. in the last like 10 seconds I had priority and a good one came, and I was like, no way, please, Gony, no. Because like he never won a QS before and I already had some wins. And I was laughing and I finished the wave and it was so close. I thought, wow, maybe I'm gonna get it. But in the end, I was like, wow, prefer not to get it, you know. They has to win this contest. And I got a 7.5, so I didn't get it.
No
I need
way.
a 7.57 or something like that. So it was so close, but he won, and it was pretty epic because I was really happy for him.
Oh.
It was gonna be too, no, not good. I was not gonna feel good.
Oh,
you know, in the World Juniors, I won. He got second. Now I was like, okay, he won.
Were you guys kind
And-
of talking the whole heat? Was it like? was it
Yeah,
just
we
fun
were
the whole heat,
talking.
like
We were
just a
talking.
normal surf.
We were laughing because I was in a combo and I was like, wow, fuck, I have priority. And then it was cool to come back. But he was, at the first 5 minutes, he had 2.8s or something. He was like, it's done.
Yeah.
But then I almost, when that last wave came, he was like, no way. I have to win a contest. So he's like, please, Gony, let me win. And I laughed. I was laughing, padding like, But yeah, I prefer like this, you know. He deserved to win. But yeah, that was one of the most special ones for sure. That final with him. And when I won in Sarouts, the first time in Sarouts, I won 2 times in 2009 and 2017. But the first one was super special. It was my first like important win in the QS. It was 2009 and it was pretty fun. I beat Pat Gudauskas, I remember, in the semis. Beat Gabriel Medina, actually. In one of the first rounds, he was like super young, 15.
Yeah.
Then it was impossible to beat him. But,
Got hard
but
from
yeah,
there.
it was hard. But yeah, I remember that comp was like finally, you know, when you're competing for so long and the QS, from the junior to the QS is super hard. The transition, you get from junior to the open and like, wow, super intimidated. And I was like losing, super intimidated, you know. You don't feel confident. You like feel like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough to be here. And then after like trying, and I was like 24, won that comp, and I was like, wow, epic. It was like a big release. And yeah, that was the year I was super close. And then to qualifying. But yeah, and the 2010 was the final with O'Day here.
Yeah.
Those are, in the QS, the most important finals I had.
Yeah.
The coolest. I was gonna remember. Yeah. Then after, you know, it was like super repetitive, like many years, and it was hard to keep the motivation. I trained really hard, physically and technically. Like those years I was close, but in the end I was like, wow, this is exhausting, you know, like what is the training too much and not having fun anymore. And then the years after I was like, wow, just competing because, you know, you're competing, but I didn't have that feeling. And in the end started Jump Traction with Marlon. We had started a company, so I was spending more time also like creating things, like learning about selling things, like a product. And that was pretty interesting. When I was like kind of 30 or something, the motivation to compete came back because I was doing also something else, not putting all my time into contest and surfing. I had something else so when I was surfing I was really enjoying, and when I was going to the comps I was also enjoying it because I was like, wow, this is fun, you know, like
more balance.
yeah. So I enjoyed a lot, and I ended up also winning some events after. In between heats I was sending an invoice to a shop and then had my laptop in the contest area. I was like, wow, epic. But then was going to the heat and doing good because the pressure was a bit off, you know.
Yeah,
because I had something else to focus.
Yeah.
And Caparica and Sarouts 2017 I won back to back, and that was also really nice for me because I was also working for Jam, and it was like, wow, I was beating Jorgan and Vasco and all these kids that they were like
Kind of like a
full-time
younger generation,
competing.
Yeah.
And I was like 10 years older than them and
Selling
doing
traction
something
pads.
else and just like cruising. And somehow I was flowing so much without pressure that I had all the experience and I was cruising. And yeah, those comps were crazy because I didn't even surf a single free surf. I only surf in the heats. those 2 weeks, I only surfed the hits in both one comps.
Yeah.
Didn't have a free surf. I was like, wow, I'm just gonna surf in my heat. I'm tired. I'm just gonna keep my energy for the heat.
Yeah.
Not even a free surf before. It was pretty cool. I had 2 magic boards that I was using, so it was all super simple for me. This board when it's small, and this one if it's a bit bigger, and that's it. And
Easy.
so cool. That was
plan.
epic. The day before the Caparica comp, I was shooting for Eurothrash, a Volcom movie. Noah Dean came when Noah Dean signed the contract, and we surfed Cave.
I remember that stuff.
So sick. And it was like the sickest waves, like crazy waves at Cave we had.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was the second time I surfed Cave, and it was, imagine, the adrenaline was crazy. The barriers we got, and you're risking your life there. So everything was flowing. I got the sickest waves, and then I was going to Caparica. It was like this, but I was relaxed. I was like, okay, I got the sickest wave of my life, probably the most scary, and I'm not competing. I don't care if I lose. I don't care. So I was like,
Yeah. Pressure's off.
winning.
Just rolled with it.
It was epic. So it ended up like when I finished in Sarouts, back to where we're like winning again. I was like, I don't understand anything. Like even in Sarouts, all my friends lost on Saturday, and we went to dinner in a sidreria on the mountain, like 40 people doing that dinner, like big steak and cider.
Yeah.
We were like, wow, drinking cider, and I was like, wow, I have the quarters tomorrow, you know. And we end up going to party at Odei's dad's bar, Sausalito, and everyone partying. And at 1 o'clock, I'm like, Odei, I'm gonna go. I have to compete tomorrow. And we were having so much fun.
Yeah.
All like 40 friends, like, and they looked at me. And Jonathan also was in the quarters. Okay, so it was Johnny and me, the only ones that were still alive. And Johnny was partying too. They looks at me and tells me, Gony, you wanna go home? I'm like, no, I don't wanna go, but if I stay, I'm gonna be dead tomorrow. And he told me, if you go home, you're gonna lose. And if you stay, you're gonna win the contest. You know it. And I was like, what? No way, I'm going home. So I was staying at his house.
Yeah.
So I took the keys and walked out of the club and started walking home. And I was like, no way, I'm going home. All my friends are there.
All my friends are having the best
I won in Caparica last week. I don't care if I lose in the quarters. It's already epic. I'm fine. Went back to the club and they were like, "Oh, so happy!" And party so much that night until like 5 in the morning. And the check-in was at 7:30.
Oh, wow.
Woke up like dead. I called Johnny. Johnny, you still? Are you awake? Because he was first hit. He's like, yeah, I'm awake. Okay, let's go. We went and Johnny also go through to the semis.
Wow.
Yeah,
The
beat
party boy.
Stan Dubignac. Yeah.
Dangerous.
And I beat, I don't remember who it was, but it was crazy. My hit quarterfinals, 2 restarts. Like,
Just
imagine, I was so tired, and I get to the peak. It was like outside peak. When I get to the peak, flat. And we're waiting, and no waves. And then restart. I was like, okay, restart. But we kept waiting, no waves. The peak changed to the inside, but we were kind of on an outside ride.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun, the hit before. So me and, I don't know who it was, a Frenchie. We were sitting, and I thought, if he is not going, I'm not moving. Because if I go to the inside, he stays here, and a big one comes.
Yeah.
It's so different to the inside that I'm gonna lose. So we kept waiting, nothing. And Mikel Urigoite was like, guys, 2 restarts already. You guys have to move. Or we not restarting 3 times.
Yeah.
So there's waves in the inside. So I told to him, well, okay, let's go inside. I said, yeah, let's go. We went together. And I was thinking, wow, I didn't sleep. And I have 2 restarts. What is this? And then went to the inside and got through. And then semis, I had Vasco Rivero. And it was so tough to beat. But imagine, I was like having coffee. And then we beating him crazy. And then I had Jonathan lost in the semis against Jorgen.
Uh-huh.
Last wave, Jorgen beat him. Otherwise, we would have been like together in the final. It would have been so funny, so close. Crazy, man. And then in the final, Jorgen started with like 2-7 and something. I was in a combo. in the first 5 minutes, and I was like, wow, feeling so tired, and I was thinking, wow, it's so stupid. I partied yesterday. Well, it's impossible to beat Jorgen here now. And suddenly he did like a little mistake, and like a good one lost priority, and then the bomb came. I got like an 8.9, and so I was like only like 5 point something
Yeah.
somehow, and I was like, wow, 8 minutes remaining, you need a 5 point something. I was like, what? Weird, like I can win this thing. Pile back, got one like backside, papa, so close, like 5.5, not enough, you need a 5.6. I'm like, what? No way. Go back to the peak. Jorgen lets me go on a little one, but reformed perfectly, and I got like a 7 point something, and kind of put him almost in a combo.
Yeah.
And finished. I was like, wow, this is crazy, man. I don't know. I don't understand anything.
So
Jorgen ripping and training so hard, and
you
couldn't win a contest. He couldn't win. At the time, 2017, he was gonna win his first QS there, and I got the last wave and beat him. He was almost crying, man. And I felt bad, like, wow, these guys, Vasco or Jorgen, they were on it, and I was cruising and winning. I was like, wow, surfing it's different. I mean, when you don't have pressure, you're flowing a lot, but it's hard. You cannot do that, if you are really on it, because it's not gonna work.
Okay.
One contest gonna work, maybe, or two, because I didn't care. But in the end, I had the all the experience from all those years of training and committing. That's why I was winning. If you cannot do that when you are 20 years old.
Yeah.
I was 32. And I think I felt like all the experience I had was there. I was like, wow, I was making the right decisions. They maybe making mistakes because they had a lot of pressure sometimes.
Yeah.
It's super tricky, the line, super thin. And, I don't recommend that. But sometimes if you feel like you need to relax and have fun, you can do it. And doesn't mean that you're going to lose. You can always, in the end, it's just choosing the right waves.
Yeah.
But,
did you
cannot be the best in the world on the whole year if you're partying. No, not gonna, but sometimes you need to relax, because if you are not flowing, you have to change your rhythm a little, and maybe you need a little fun, a little party to do good.
Yeah, take some of that pressure off.
Sometimes, yeah. It depends. Everyone is different. It's like in the end, you have to know what you need at that moment.
Did you have energy to go out and party to celebrate the win?
That one, no.
You said you go straight to bed.
That day, straight to bed. I partied hard the day before, so I was like, fuck it, we can't party anymore. No, I was like so happy. But it was heavy because after when I won Caparica, I was with Ashton and Goggins.
Yeah.
And he was hanging here for the first time, and I met him at Cochos, then we were cruising together. He was with me there in Caparica, and he was gonna go home. And when I won the contest, I told him, let's go. You have to come to Sarouts with me. I introduced you to all the boys, Adur, from Pucas, everyone. He never been to Basque Country, France.
Yeah.
So it's like, and he changed his ticket and stayed with me. We drove together, did everything together. It was pretty cool. And the thing was that when I won Caparica, the day after, there was a Volcom party in San Sebastian in the Pucas store for a premiere for Noah Dean, whatever, the Eurothrash thing. So we drove I was dead from the contest in Caparica, but drove all the way there and arrived at night for dinner and the party with the Volcom team. That was on Monday, like before Sarouts QS.
Yeah.
We partied so hard that night, like ended up sleeping in my car in an underground parking. Like, wow. Woke up dead, like fever. The next day I was like in bed with like an airpress, like fever. 2 days in bed at Ode's house. Leon Glatzer was bringing me like curcuma. This is from Costa Rica. So good. Drink this, you're gonna get better.
Yeah.
Drinking like curcuma. Got better somehow. Straight to the first heat.
There you go.
And 8 points first wave. So I was like, wow, this is absurd. And then on the contest.
Curcuma.
But yeah, that was the last contest I won, probably.
Well, you went out in proper form, my friend.
So cool.
Got another
Yeah.
question for you. So you've lived here for how many years now? I know you said the year before, but at least
2010,
Okay.
so it's
Nearly
15 years.
what are some of
Yeah.
your favorite things to do outside of surfing here?
Here, whew, I love eating.
What do you like to eat?
The local restaurants, Pescador, I love. There's some epic ones, new ones in Ericeira, La Popular. I love it. There's some
Ah,
epic
Spanish,
sushi. Yeah, the
pulpo.
Spanish, the tapas, so
Yeah.
cool. But there's so many good ones. Café Vitoria is great too, like Avica over there in Barril, Tic Tac, traditional Portuguese food, and Mardareia, the grilled fish, is epic. And then I love just cruising, go to Lisbon sometimes to cruise too, check it out. But yeah, I mostly surf and cruise here, just being here.
Nice.
Yeah.
And have your boards changed much over the years? I mean, you have such a good relationship with your shaper, especially now that you're not really competing much anymore.
Yeah, it's
What are you riding these days?
changed a lot. Yeah, I all my life had thrusters, high performance. Now I have some epic twin fins with channels, round pins. Like, yeah, I have a crazy quiver now of high performance boards and twin fins, and also some little quads. So fun for beach breaks. I can explore more, way more. Quads and twinnies, I think they're great also for these point breaks. Super fast and different lines. You have way more like horizontal lines,
Yeah.
and the thrusters you can go more vertical, but you get tired. When you are competing, you have to focus like on thrusters, trying to find that magic board. But when you're not competing, like that, I'm not doing it, so yeah, anymore. So I really like to have all kinds of boards.
Yeah.
I love thrusters, but twinnies are so nice to ride. You don't have to do like a perfect turn. You're just going down the line, and you're like, wow, it's going so fast that you feel so good. Just going on the wall fast is like doing like a crazy carve or like a tail out on a thruster.
Yeah.
So it simplifies everything and it's easier, and paddles easier, So, and quads are great too. But yeah, keep working with Nick Riccio for so many years, 25 years now, and also with Daniel Bartoli. He's a Brazilian shaper. He's working at Cement for many years now, and he's a great shaper. Always so motivated to shape different boards, and those twinnies are from Daniel.
Yeah.
Crazy, the Cabulosa model. So fun.
Nice.
Vasco Rivero is loving them too. He just got a new one today. He was frothing. I think it's super important to ride different boards.
Totally. So
Yeah.
what's the focus now? Obviously, you're still free surfing, going on trips. You've got Jam going. Aren't you working on like a surf tour there?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of trips, bringing groups of people, to different places like Angola, Morocco. I went to Peru a month ago. It was awesome. And yeah, I'm working with La Conservera, which is a surf school of my best friend in Vigo.
Yeah.
He started also organizing trips, bringing people, and now we're doing it together. And it's awesome. I met like really nice people.
Cool.
Really, really cool. And
Speaking
I'm
of all
just
skill levels.
I'm just-
different
yeah,
places,
just-
everything.
and they come and repeat, and they bring all the friends, and I've been enjoying it a lot. I'm just giving some tips and guiding them, but it's not like a crazy coaching,
Yeah.
technically. They just want to have fun, travel, and being with me in the water helps them a lot, and they are improving so much. They've been repeating for many years now, and we become great friends, and there's always like a new one that comes, and great to explore different destinations too, and keep traveling. And yeah, I'm focusing on that. Also starting tattooing last year. Yeah, it was so cool. Like, one day I had a dream that I was like, well, I was injured, and I was like, oh, like kind of struggling, and one lady that I was going to, it's like kind of, she was working on my shoulder and told me, oh, you should start thinking about something else. Surfing is not forever. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, yeah, what are you gonna do for work? And I'm like, didn't want to think about it. You know?
Yeah.
And then I went to bed and I had a dream that I was tattooing. I was like,
Okay.
wow. Woke up next day, like, tattooing, crazy. But then I would check online, like the idea stayed. And I checked online, how to start tattooing. Then I saw like a tattooing course in Lisbon.
Yeah.
Next month. I was like, what? No, wait, 2 weeks. It's like, boom, I got it. I entered. And I went to Lisbon every day, like for like 8 hours. So sick. And so yeah, I started tattooing and I'm been enjoying tattooing like many of my friends. And it's, slowly, step by step, but maybe one day I can, have that as a job. I don't know. The good thing is that it's a matter of time and how many hours you put in and to get improve.
Yeah.
And you don't need your body to be in shape. And when I'm 60, I could be able to tattoo and surfing professionally. So I really like it. So I'm slowly. I wish I had more time to tattoo. I've been dedicating not as much as I would like, but no rush.
Nice.
It's okay. Yeah.
Well, sounds like you got a lot on. Thanks for spending the time with us today.
Thank you.
Cool.
It's a pleasure. Yeah, well,
Thanks, Gony.
thank you.
Yes.
Your relationship with Pierre.
Ah, sick. Yeah, good one.
Well, one more question for you, actually. Tell us a bit about your relationship with Pierre, your longtime surf coach.
Yeah, Pierre is an amazing person. It's a crazy inspiration. For me, it's a really important part here in Ericeira as well. Nico Riccio and Pierre, for me, like they help me a lot. And Pierre is super he knows about so much stuff. He's been through a lot, not only about surfing. He's been in the war in Angola as a photographer. He had the first bar in Ribera de Ilhas. He had a surf school. He was a fisherman as well. He did 1 million things. So when we started working together, he was training me 2011. I had in the Challenger series, I lost first heat and I was like, wow, so depressed. Like, wow. And Nick told me, actually, we were having lunch, Nick, Pierre, and me, and Nick was like, Gony, you should train with Pierre. Pierre, kick him his ass. He needs to work harder. And then Pierre's like, okay, let's do it. I'm like, wow, okay, let's do it. Something different, I was like, let's go. We were boxing, we were training so hard physically because when he was younger, he was doing fights, crazy fights, and he knows a lot about training, a lot. So it was epic to start training with him because we're doing a lot of physical, super different, and also technical and talking a lot. He's a great person to have when we're competing. He just keeps you calm and talks a lot and he's super sensitive. He can put you in the right state of mind. So it was epic to work with Pierre for many years and we became really, really close friends. But yeah, mostly you learn a lot about life. Not only, for me, it was not about surfing. Yeah, he helped me a lot, but helped me a lot in other aspects.
Yeah.
Made me grow a lot. So I'm really thankful too. Legend. Good
Nice.
family. Yeah. Super thankful.
Good.
Obrigado, Pierre.
Obrigado, Pierre.
Obrigado.
Obrigado, Zoni.
Yes.
Cool.
Nice.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, good one. Good one.
Question.
Sí.